Please be seated. Welcome, welcome everyone. We are gathered together on this very special day to honor Will and Erin and their family and friends. We are witnesses to Will and Erin's marriage vows. We are their support in keeping those vows, and in a way, we will be joined together with them in the bond of community. To place our heart's full attention on this wonderful ceremony, let's all take a few calming breaths. Visualizing peace and calm. There's a store of peace and calm beneath us, and we can rely on that when things get emotional or a little too exciting. It's always there for us. So, please be present with your whole being. In this way, you will fulfill your friendship with gratitude. You make this ceremony truly sacred with your gift of attention, awareness, and support. Please silence all cell phones. This is an especially joyous occasion because these two amazing people are our children. I did check with my legal counsel to make sure there was not a conflict of interest for me to marry them and everything, but he assures me that everything is okay. So, they met here at RBC and several years ago and fell in love in a short space of time when Will got back from Scotland. It is most auspicious to fall in love at the temple. So that's wonderful. A strong shared spiritual foundation will help guide them through their marriage. Will have many years of joy and some challenges like we all find. So growing up, our son Will, his most important ambition was to meet his true love and marry and start a family. So raising a family together will be a wonderful experience. He's always been a hopeful romantic, so that continues. It is a very endearing quality in a man. I'd say he has achieved his aspiration already. So, and dear Erin, so kind, intelligent, and very strong. Very creative. One of those gifted people who can make something out of nothing, and that's an amazing thing. So, we couldn't ask for a better partner for our son. Together, their intentions and actions, or their karma, and the unfolding truth of interdependence have brought them to each other on this day, in this place, to share solemn vows. Will and Erin, from distant beginnings, have been coming together to this sacred moment. We will start our ceremony with an incense offering and a chant of invocation, welcoming all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions to be present with us, which will be wonderful. So we the priests, when I say we, I'm actually referring to Reverend Shelley, who's hiding back there, and myself. We will now offer a chant of invocation called the Zencho Kata. Will and Erin and their wedding party will offer incense. The incense offering is a symbolic act of purification and gratitude, giving a gift in gratitude to bless this ceremony with compassion. So, in that case, I will ask you two to come forward and offer incense. Zencho Gida Ni Udojo O Fui Igu Ugan May the spiritual presence of Amida Buddha, Kannon, and Seishi Bodhisattvas, and all enlightened ones, past, present, and future, permeate this hall to send forth wisdom, like flower petals falling from the sky, to awaken those of us gathered. Namo Buddhaya. and Erin will now, and anyone who would like, will now share the 3 homages, which is traditional in a Buddhist marriage. So please come forward. We take refuge in the absolute purity of awakened mind, called Buddha, the original source and manifestation of all that is. We take refuge in the truth of Dharma, the universal truth and wisdom of life lived in compassion. And we take refuge in Sangha, our family and community. This is the boundless interconnection of all beings. Turn toward the altar. Buddham Saranam Gacchami Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Namanda, 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 namanda. Thank you. We will set the tone of our ceremony with a reading from the Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Susan?
You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. Aye, you shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow.
Thank you. Come forward. Please come forward. Will and Erin will take the 10 precepts. Marriage is a journey of deep connection. Where this connection is nurtured, trust is conveyed quietly. It is wide and deep and without words. When we are completely connected with one person, we can meet ourselves in them, wherever they are. So marriage is not only for your being together, but actually it is a true spiritual practice. According to our tradition, these precepts can guide you in the inevitable days of difficulty and challenge. Will and Erin, please affirm these 10 precepts with your whole heart. You will undertake to respect all beings and act with compassion toward them. To act with generosity and receive only things that are freely given. To be honest and true, to speak with honesty from the depth of your hearts, to act with mindfulness and clarity, and not abuse our hearts, bodies, or minds with intoxication.
We will.
To refrain, to remain thoughtful and mindful of our speech and actions in both quality and effect.
We will.
To rejoice in the good fortune of others and see their joys as your own.
We will.
To give with joy, compassion, and loving kindness.
We will.
To honor the three treasures, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
We will.
We are truly grateful today to be able to hold this sacred ceremony in the presence of Amida Buddha, as well as our parents and all beings who helped nurture and support. You're such a beautiful couple. From now on, we will always be guided by the Buddha and respectfully follow the wisdom of Shinran Shonin. We will work together and create a peaceful family, sharing the Nembutsu teaching. Here are the vows we will exchange. I can't talk to the back of your head, so I have to kind of scootle over here. Hi, Bear. You're okay. Yeah, that's my robe. Okay. Will. Do you will take Erin to be your life partner, to support in every way that you can, to be faithful and worthy of trust, to be there for Erin, to share your gifts, your heart, and all you have, to support and respect Erin's spiritual growth and accept hers, to communicate clearly and openly about your relationship, to work with Erin to sustain this family in joy and love, to preserve the sacredness of your relationship.
I do.
And do you, Erin, take Will to be your life partner, to support in every way that you can, to be faithful and worthy of trust, to be there for Will, to share your gifts, your heart, and all you have, to support and respect Will's spiritual growth and accept his support of yours, to communicate clearly, openly about your relationship, to work with Will to sustain this family in joy and love, to preserve the sacredness of your relationship.
I do.
The vows having been exchanged, we will have a reading on sympathetic joy from Doug Walsh.
Sometimes when we are watching an exciting sporting event or when we witness the marriage of dear friends or family, we feel this happiness, this joy for someone else's experience. We feel uplifted to notice it, to experience it, to feel it too. Sometimes we feel it more, sometimes less, but there is this wonderful feeling of secondhand joy. When there is a joy for another, it can infect us too. What we are experiencing is the feeling of mudita, a Sanskrit word that could be translated as sympathetic joy. Mudita is the word for the joy we feel when someone else is victorious or happy. Sympathetic joy has a range from loud, demonstrative expression, like our reactions, triggered by euphoria at a concert or at athletes winning at the Olympics, to the subtle uplift we can experience alone by a lake, in a forest, or watching a beautiful sunset. An inexplicable feeling of just being glad to be alive. Is this more subtle, the kind without a trigger that seems less explainable? It seems to come from nowhere. When you put a vibrating tuning fork next to another tuning fork, the second one will begin to hum at the same frequency as the first. This is the secret to the power of sympathetic joy. Using sympathetic joy in daily life means that we are alert to opportunities where happiness and success and growth can transmit from others to us and from us to others. Using sympathetic joy, it means we have to take up the discipline of paying attention to the joy of success of others around us. Mudita is about actively strengthening positive events and connections and transmitting them on. One of the most natural ways to do this is smiling. Smiling at a stranger in passing on a street often will cause them to smile. This is mudita too. This wider feeling of mudita is the unprompted feeling of subtle joy for all beings, for all rocks, for all trees and plants, insects, animals. Being on a mountaintop or next to a lake or by the ocean or watching a sunrise or sunset, we can feel the extremely subtle, widely dispersed happiness that seems to have no reason for being there.
Thank you, Doug. We will now have a tea ceremony to join the families. Will and Erin would like to invite their family members up to the altar to share in drinking tea to purify the joining of the two families. The traditional ceremony is called San Kudo. The first 3 sips represent the 3 families, Will and Erin. Will's family represented by his parents, Matthew and Shelley. Erin's family, represented by her parents, Susan and Doug, are now joined into one family. Three sips. The second 3 sips represent overcoming the 3 human flaws of greed, anger, and ignorance. Three sips. And the last 3 sips represent the interdependence of all beings, acknowledging that we will all need each other to live a full and happy life. Thank you, Katie. You may be seated. Thank you. 3 families joined into one. We will now have a blessing for the journey, reading from Erica Walsh.
Let us vow to bear witness to the wholeness of life, realizing the completeness of each and everything. Embracing our differences, I shall know myself as you and you as myself. May we serve each other for all our days, here, there, and everywhere. Let us vow to open ourselves to the abundance of life. Freely giving and receiving, I shall care for you, for the trees and the stars and the treasures of my very own. May we be grateful for all our days, here, there, and everywhere. Let us vow to forgive all hurt caused by ourselves and others, and never to condone hurtful ways. Being responsible for my actions, I shall free myself and you. Will you free me too? May we be kind for all our days, here, there, and everywhere. Let us vow to remember that all that appears will disappear. In the midst of uncertainty, I shall so love. Here, now, I call to you. Let us together live the great peace that we are. May we give no fear for all our days, here, there, and everywhere.
Thank you, Erica. And now it is time to exchange rings. Very exciting. The ring bearer does not have hands, so he needs to be helped to remove. He's been so wonderful, knock on wood, placing there. He's a phenomenal little dog. But he did legitimately carry those rings down the aisle as planned. Wonderful. Okay. Please come forward. And you've got that one, and you've got that one. Okay, good. Yep. I have to keep those things straight. One time we had a wedding, we did the whole wedding, and then it turned out they hadn't gotten a license, so it's sort of our job to check on things. Everything's fine. Here, rings are an ancient symbol, blessed and simple, round like the sun, like the eye, like arms embracing. Rings are circles reminding us of the endless cycles of life and love. And so, may these symbols remind you always, here, let's kind of hold them up so we can see. May these symbols remind you always that your love, like the sun, illumines, that your love, like the eye, must see clearly, and that your love, like the arm's embrace, truly is a blessing on this world. Will and Erin, it is now time to exchange the rings, in case that wasn't obvious to you. That's very nice of Bear to bring them for you. Will, please, I get over here. Will, please repeat after me. With this ring, I vow to honor and cherish you.
I vow to honor and cherish you.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
For better or worse.
For better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
For richer or poorer.
For all the days of my life.
For all the days of my life.
Very nice. And now, Erin, repeat after me. With this ring, I vow to honor and cherish you.
I vow to honor and cherish you.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
For better or worse.
For better or worse.
Let's hope this is as worse as it gets, because, come on, Bear. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Just back up. There you go. Okay. In a resounding place, Bear.
Bear place.
Place.
Good boy.
Okay. With this ring, I vow to honor and cherish you.
I vow to honor and cherish
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
For better or worse.
For better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
For richer or poorer.
For all the days of my life.
For all the days of my life.
My bell ringer was crying, so she didn't. Now witnessing that you have both agreed to marry, according to the wisdom of the Buddha and by the authentic rights vested in me by the state of Nevada, I joyously pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss. May I present the very married Will and Erin Fisher. Take the cue.
Do you love the rain? Does it make you dance when you jump with your friends at a party? What's your favorite song? Does it make you smile? Do you think of me? When you close your eyes, tell me what are you dreaming?
Blake.
Everything I wanna know it all. I'd spend 10,000 hours and 10,000 more. Oh, if that's what it takes to learn that sweetheart of yours. And I might never get there, but I'm gonna try. If it's 10,000 hours or the rest of my life, I'm gonna love you.
Go get her. Go get her, Bear. Go get her. Go get her. Where's your mama?
Do you miss
Where's
the
your
road
mama?
that you grew up
Bear, go
on?
get her.
Did you get your middle name from your grandma? When you think about you forever now, do you think of me? When you close your eyes, tell me what are you dreaming? Everything I wanna know.
We will have a reception downstairs. We will have a reception downstairs immediately, right now. To get there, we will go out through those doors and circle around the building and come in the doors on the side. That will be the easiest way for everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and join us for a joyful reception. Thank you. Galen, play something. Play it, Galen. Play music.